So we'll continue with the Silva method, Silva mind control method. Now, for a giant step forward, projection into a pet. The students have been so successful up to this point that can I really do this? Is a question that crosses very few minds. The students have been so successful up to this point that can I really do this? Is a question that crosses very few minds. They confidently examine a pet from the outside against their mental screen. They confidently a pet examine a pet from outside against their mental screen with the colors changing. Then, just as confidently, they mentally enter the skull and living brain. After a few minutes of recon- reconnaissance, 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 it's a process of getting information about enemy forces or positions by sending out small groups of soldiers or by aircraft of the process. Reconnaissance, reconnaissance, reconnaissance. After a few minutes of reconnaissance inside the pet's head, they emerge once again to examine. I forgot examine. I know it's It's mine or mean. Examine, examine, examine,
Examine.
examine,
Examine.
examine, examine, examine,
Examine.
examine,
Examine.
examine,
Examine.
examine, examine the rib cage, the spine, the heart, the lungs, the liver, then out again. Now on with points of reference for what will probably be the most dumbfounding day of their lives. The fourth day when they will work with humans. However, there is preparatory prepared preparatory preparatory
Preparatory.
preparatory
Preparatory.
preparatory means done in order to get ready for something. Preparatory prepare preparatory preparatory done in order to get ready for something. Preparatory work ಅಂತ we call it preparatory work, but it's not. Preparatory
Preparatory.
preparatory. At one point, so what's running in my mind is I'll go back to default pronunciation, but I think it's just a continuous effort. I keep practicing, and one day I'll switch to a new pronunciation, right? Let's examine this. So, reconnaissance, reconnaissance,
Reconnaissance.
reconnaissance, 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 reconnaissance,
Reconnaissance.
reconnaissance means group of the process of. I'm not working on the memory. I'm too focusing on the pronunciation
Process.
process. The process of getting information about enemy forces or a position by sending out small group of soldiers or by using aircrafts. Reconnaissance. Again, now armed with points of reference for what will probably be the most dumbfounding day of their lives, the fourth day, when they will work with humans. However, there is a preparatory work to do beforehand. Preparatory work to do beforehand. I think it's beforehand is excessive. Excessive. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Yeah, because preparatory work itself tells it's done beforehand. So I think we lost context. So I'll not be able to reproduce what exactly I'm reading. So let's go continue reading. No, let's go ahead. Look, review the context. What's the context here? You can practice ESP. Let's go back to chapter 12. Get started with chapter, or maybe I'll continue with pronunciation today, and we'll get started. We'll restart the chapter tomorrow. Right. All right. In an especially now. Too much, more than usual, or more than people or think.
Especially.
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 Especially. Especially. Deep level of in an especially very much more than usual or more than other people or things, especially for a particular reason. She's not especially interested in sports. For a particular reason. I love Australian wines, especially the white wines. I love Australian wines, especially white wines, the white wines, for particular reason, especially is very much more than usual. So she's not especially interested in your work or in sport. I like Australian wines, especially white wines. So in an especially deep level of meditation, very much, or for a particular reason, no, it's very much. Sometimes well into theta, mind control students in their now well trained imaginations construct laboratories of whatever size, shape, and color they are comfortable comfortable with. These will include a desk and a chair of their own design, a clock, a calendar containing all dates past, present, and future, plus filling cabinets. Nothing unusual so far.